All right, welcome to the Deep Discipleship Podcast on retreats. We're not just retreating, we're actually using the idea of retreating to grow spiritually. And so I am here today with Kellee, who is our Deep Discipleship Specialist here at Deep Discipleship, and I'm Doug Franklin, and we're glad to be with you to kind of give you the insight, the little skinny on all of the great little tools inside of Deep Discipleship. Deep Discipleship is so big, it can kind of feel overwhelming sometimes. And so we're hoping that these podcasts really help you get the most out of your use of deep discipleship, or helps you make a decision to start to use deep discipleship at your church because of all the content that you get. Man, and there is a ton. So Kellee, let's start with we're going to talk about 4 retreats a curriculum that you have that you could do 4 retreats with in deep discipleship. Let's start with our DNow, or us in the North, we call just winter retreat. But in the South, it's called more like DNow or Discipleship Now weekends. And we offer a lot here. So what do we have?
We do. So in Deep Discipleship Premium, you actually get a free coupon to choose one of the 19 DNow options that LeaderTrex offers. So if you purchase Deep Discipleship Premium, you will get a code and you can go on the LeaderTrex website. You can take a look at all of those options, pick which theme really sticks with what your students need to hear. Every single DNow from LeaderTrex comes with large group speaker outlines. It comes with the videos, the media, the PowerPoint slides, and then we also give you the small group content as well, which are the lesson plans. We give you tools and trainings for your volunteers. We even give you schedules. We give you the forms. We give you all the things that you need to make your DNow winter retreat, whatever retreat you want to use. You can use it not in the winter too, by the way, if you want to.
Yeah. You know, I think as a youth pastor, my favorite part of this is the promo videos.
Yeah.
You get promo videos that you can shoot that you can show to get your students excited or interested in the topic and what you're going to be discussing. I think that's always a big win for a youth worker, because you want to be able to promote it with your students, and you want your students to be excited about what you're doing. So that's a really easy one. And those promo videos are really great. And they bring a lot of, I think, excitement to what you're doing as well, too.
Yeah. And there's a lot of themes that you can choose from, but the gist of it is no matter which theme you choose, it is specifically to help students make those level 2 relationships. They're going to go deeper in their relationship with Jesus. They're going to go deeper in their relationship with each other and even the adults that serve them in their ministry.
Yeah. And even if you use an outside speaker, here's the great thing. You give the speaker the sermon outline, and then they can put in their illustrations and whatever they want to focus on. If they want to have an evangelism call at the end, or if they want to, however they want to do it, but you get 4 sessions of small group, 4 sessions of large group. And if you're a small group and you're doing it on your own too, you get a whole sermon as well too for each one of those. So, so you don't have to write it yourself. There's no late night scrambling or additional planning. It's all done for you. And it's rock solid biblically, just rock solid biblically.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
You also can go in and you can purchase the student bundles as well from LeaderTrex. So we give you the t-shirts that you can purchase. We give you the books, the devotionals, everything that you need for your students. Already done for you.
Yeah, if you want to go over the top, you got the money and you want to put an extra $10 in, you get the t-shirt, you get the book. I mean, that's pretty awesome. If you really want to have an event that looks like it's like you spent like weeks preparing, it makes you look great, actually. So, and you get all the graphics for your PowerPoint slides or your Pro Presenter slides or whatever you want. You got all of that in there. That's pretty cool as well, too. So that's sort of our flagship, top of the line retreat, DNow, for deep discipleship users. We also have a student leadership retreat as well, too, which, LeaderTrex, you got student leadership retreat. So we include this year the Inner Armor retreat, which is a great one because it's about David fighting Goliath. And if you remember, right before he goes to fight Goliath, Saul gives him all of this armor. He gives him like all of this pounds and pounds of armor. And so, Saul's thinking David is going to fight Goliath the way Goliath is fighting David, and David's thinking, no, I'm not going to fight him that way. I'm going to fight him the way God has designed me and has given me experiences to fight, right? So, and this is so great for student leadership. You don't need to be like the other leaders or the loudest person, or you got to be who God made you to be. And this retreat really helps students understand that they have a unique inner armor that God has given them that allows them to slay the giants of this world, to really make impact in this world through church and culture. And I think this is such a valuable retreat for students that I love this retreat. I've loved teaching this retreat. And it's a great time to get away. And I think students think, oh, I know the story of David and Goliath. Didn't he shoot him with like 5 stones or something? But this kind of gets into the depth of that story, the great and amazing things that God does to demonstrate his power, his love, his concern for us. And at the same time, really gives us an understanding of how God prepared David and how God used David. And I think this is the part that always gets me, David's faithfulness to walk in it, because that guy was a giant with a big spear. And our students are facing giants all over the place, right? Like peer pressure and conformity and all the messages of the world. Those are huge giants to our students, and to stand up against all that. I just think that this retreat is, man, for student leaders, this is a killer one. This is really good. And I didn't mean killer like David killed the Goliath at the end, but you know what I mean.
I think it's also so great because with this retreat, it is rooted, pun intended as well, in the identity root, right? We have the 8 roots of deep discipleship, and this inner armor retreat is quite literally the identity root all over. It is throughout the entire retreat between who is your identity rooted in? How did God create you? What makes you you? How did God create you? And how your words and your actions can empower what God has called you to do.
Fantastic. This one, the money back guarantee, it's going to be your favorite. I just love this one. I love teaching this one. All right. So we got a DNow or winter retreat or a highly produced retreat for you with everything. That's sort of the granddaddy of them all. And then we've got the student leadership retreat. And the next retreat that we have for you is preparing your mission trip team. So we give you a whole 4-session great content. You can do it like weekly if you want, but if you wanted to get away and do a retreat, it prepares your students how to serve from a biblical perspective. Because a lot of times I think students are thinking, got to go on a missions trip. It's about where we're going. Oh, we're going to Memphis this year. That's where we're going. That's about where we're going. It's not about that. It's actually about God's plan to save the world. And God's love for the world, and how God wants us as his kids to serve the least and the last of this world, right? He wants to change our perspective from about fame and fortune to service and kindness and love for others. And so this actual retreat helps get your students prepared biblically. What is the biblical basis for retreat? And so it's really killer. Now, Kellee, you're preparing a team. I know you're also a youth worker like all of us, and you're preparing your team this summer. How might you use this curriculum as you think about getting your students ready?
Yeah. One of the things that we're going to do is we actually are we meet for our youth group on Sunday nights is what our group does. And so for weeks leading up to our trip, we're actually going to do a separate small group, or connection group is what we call them, for the students that are going on our trip. And so we are going to use that curriculum. They are going to go to a mission trip specific small group for those weeks. And our team lead for our trip is going to take them through that training because we don't have time in our school year to go on a retreat somewhere. So we're going to use it as a separate option to do on Sunday nights for our students that are going on our mission trip.
That's
totally
awesome.
Flexible. You can do it however fits for your ministry.
Yeah. And that's really great because that isn't another night. It's actually just an extension of what you're already doing in youth group. And I think that's a great way to do it. I've worked with a lot of churches who have done a retreat, and what they sometimes do is they'll go to a camp and serve at a camp. So they actually get a service project in while they're going through this material. That's always been a really powerful experience. But it's a big commitment for your adults to put another weekend
Sure.
into their schedule in youth ministry. But when you can do something like that, it can be really powerful as well too. I used to work with a bunch of churches and still do in the Dallas area. And we would go to Pine Cove, one of the great camps in Tyler, Texas. And we would serve in the kitchen while we were also doing this training, which I thought was really good and very, very powerful. So that's a great way to do it as well too. So great way to use this material and can have a really powerful effect when we use this material.
Yep.
All right. Fourth retreat. The fourth retreat that we can actually get out of deep discipleship is for our adult volunteers. You want to give us some background on this? We've got a bunch of these trainings. How would you use them in a retreat?
Yeah. So if you have the Deep Discipleship Premium subscription, you actually get all of the relational volunteer team content. And what you'll find in there is there's actually 5 different trainings, and you also get a volunteer celebration resource as well. So you can spread those out throughout the year and do that with your team. But if you want to take your adult volunteers away and you want to really immerse them in this training, you can use all 5 of those, the volunteer kickoff event, the growing deeper, the mentorship, triage, and talking about friendship with your adult volunteers. You can do that as a retreat. And then at the end, you can end your time together with the a volunteer celebration. And that would be a really special time. It's a great way to really tell your volunteers thank you, treat them to pizza or whatever they like. Maybe they don't want pizza. Maybe they want steak. I don't know. But it would be a great opportunity to just get them on the same page, get them ready for a new school year, get them ready to serve their students for another year, and be able to be on the same page about what they're doing, how to disciple students, and then even get into the nitty-gritty of, you're going to have some hard conversations with your students. So how do we handle that as church leaders?
Yeah. Your adults want to have impact, but they need training. And I think we fall short in this area a lot. And that's why we include so much adult volunteer training and video training as well too, because we know that adults want to have an impact. That's why they volunteer. And they stay when they see themselves having an impact. So training is so vital. I'm shocked and heartbroken, honestly, at how many youth ministries I'm involved with that don't do adult volunteer training, don't have the time, don't have the space, don't do it. And it actually leads to a lot of mediocrity. And so training is one of those things that you can do that can really have huge impact. So I think that's a really, really big one. All right, we got 4 retreats. You got the deep discipleship, you got the granddaddy of them all, you got the pre-trip mission trip. Actually, there's a post-mission trip curriculum as well too that can be used as a retreat. I know several churches that do that. We actually also have the the student leadership one, and we have the adult volunteer training one. All of these retreats are incredible content in deep discipleship that go way beyond the lessons that we have as well too. So check these out. You can utilize these. They can make a big difference. If you've got questions like, hey, I want to use it in a specific way, call Kellee. She'll help you walk through it, or call me. Email us. Our Calendlies are all over the website. You can pick a time and we'll be happy to talk and discuss with you. So check it out. Kellee, thank you. Thanks for being on the podcast today. Thanks for talking retreats with us. And we will see you at a camp, at a retreat center or a camp soon. Thanks. Bye.